Greetings, my name is Rudimentary Rob. Welcome back to my Raft series. Today we pick up the action. We're kind of out here on the drift or on the sail, depending on how you like to look at it. And we're looking at doing a bit of a replenish. You know, we're doing all of these storyline islands. I'd sort of work my way through my iron supply a little bit. I want to get some more meals cooked up. There's a whole bunch of little sort of things I want to get done in the background here. And yeah, this episode we're going to be working on that a little bit. The session I recorded this in was, I think it was a bit over an hour, might have even been an hour and 20 minutes. So I've done a bit of chopping and speeding up to bring it down to under half an hour for the episode. So yes, once again, you are very welcome. So with that little opening address out of the way, I'm going to suggest that you strap yourself in, grab your favourite pair of swim fins, and minor spoiler, you may want some equipment to defend yourself with, so get some of that going as well. And yeah, let's get things moving. Alright, the first stop that we're going to make today is at another small island. I hadn't come across any big ones yet, but given I'm primarily after iron at this stage, and look, a little bit of wood's not going to hurt too, with our little bit of building development there for the beehive and burning through a lot of the wood that we had prior to going to Balboa Island, I haven't really had a good opportunity to restock my wood supply. Now, I've got some thoughts on how to make things happen a bit better, in the coming episodes. But for the moment, we've got enough for our immediate needs, but we're definitely not stockpiling it at the moment. So, with that out of the way, and we're now here at the island, we're just going to make sure our cooking's done, get some more, things on the cook. We're a bit low on coconuts, so we're not actually making any more of those smoothies for the moment. I'm hoping to get some more coconuts in due course, but for the moment we're a bit short on those. Now, we're done our bit of admin in amongst a couple of cuts there, so we're now free and clear to explore the island. Now, given we now have a beehive up and running, I am now making a point of looting these flowers on any of the islands where I see them. It's not so much that I want a really big stockpile of them, it's more that if I decide to add a significant number of beehives in the future, and I'm certainly not going to rule that out as an option at this stage, I'm going to want to put more crop plots down with more flowers. And if I've already got a decent stockpile of seeds, that becomes a lot easier to do. Now, these little islands don't have much to offer sort of above the waves, so to speak. Melons, pineapples, and the occasional tree. But they do have quite a lot of flowers, so we are electing to pick all of those on this particular island. But I think that's going to give us enough of a stash for now. Now that we've, finished picking the last of the useful stuff off this island, we're going to go back to the boat in a moment. We're going to unload, and then we're going to look at, we're going to look at doing some clearing under the waves, if you know what I mean. Now, with the quiet ocean, you can randomly hear Bruce swimming around, but from where the sound came from, it was a bit it was a bit unclear, and just as well I didn't dive in and look around because Bruce would have come up behind me and given me a right nibbling. However, I was actually, given I was a little rusty with my raft maneuvering and things at the start of this session, I actually ended up dealing with this Bruce rather well. So he has had a chance to have one nibble at me. I wonder how many more he might get. And the magic number of nibbles that he got was a grand total of 1. And we did actually remember to leave the head on him this time, so we now have a decent stint of shark-free swimming while we clear all of the reefs around this island. So, hooray for that. Anyone want to hazard a guess as to what my chances are of repeating my efficient dispatching of Bruce in the future? Yeah, who knows? Leave a comment down below, though, for boasting and prosperity, posterity, whatever that word is. Yeah, if you feel like that you have enough confidence that I'll be able to repeat that kind of success in the future, go ahead. If you're pretty confident that that was just a fluke and it's never going to happen again, look, leave a comment down below as well. And, we might check back in with those at a later date if it becomes controversial at all. Haha. Anyway, this little island, it was reasonably generous with materials. The iron was maybe a snifter on the lower quantity than some of the other small islands I've cleared, but that said, though, we still did pretty well out of it. We did pretty well with seaweed and scrap and sand and clay and, all that other good stuff. It was quite the productive run. And I have left it all in there just sped up just so you can see, what the reef looks like on this particular island, where all the metal spawns are, all that other good stuff. Sometimes where the metal is can be quite hard to see, particularly if you're diving at night, but during the day, this one was actually quite pleasant as far as clearing it. And I'm pretty sure I ended up getting rid of all of it. I did, minor spoiler, I did get interrupted before I managed to complete the full looting, but I deemed that I'd done enough of it that it just wasn't worth going back for whatever little bit that I'd left behind, because whatever I'd left behind was in proximity to the raft, and it would have meant killing Bruce again, and the session was long enough already. I didn't feel like repeating that exercise just yet. So, in the meantime, we're just going to keep clearing out this reef. And then that's not going to be the end of the episode. Oh no. There's a reason why this session was close to an hour and a half in total. And that's because this is not the only place that we stop during this episode. So, yeah, stay tuned for that one a bit later. And that marks the return of the beloved Bruce. So we are just going to stab him a couple of times and then realise, yeah, we'll deal with him when we get to the next island. So speaking of the next island, we're back on the drift again. And we've seen a green blip of an island not too far away. It was, I think, about 600 metres or something from the old island. Now, I don't know how well you can see it, but you'll see there's a series of lights above the horizon there. And look, this is a public admission of how dirty my monitor is with various bits of gunk on it. The first time I looked, I swore that was just some random, bits of dust on my monitor. But then I sort of changed my view and it moved around and I just went, oh, my monitor is actually clean. Those are lights in the distance. And I thought, oh, what could they be for? And I was actually sort of worried that we were just heading back to the first storyline spot. I thought with the height above the waterline or the horizon there, I thought, oh no, we're heading back to the radio tower, which, I mean, that wouldn't have been terrible. But the location shows as green, which is, yeah, a little odd. Anyway, we ended up sailing in closer and I wanted to have a bit of a look at it because it looked like a big island, but then it didn't quite look big enough to be a big island. But it was taller than any of the small islands, so I thought I'll give it a bit of a skirt around just to see is there any, birds on it or anything like that, and I couldn't see any. Now, this was a little confusing because the big islands are the ones that you'll get the shop at, which is what the source of those lights are. That's the trading shop, and we'll have a bit of a look at that at some stage. But you don't get those generally on the small, the small islands like the one we came from. You won't normally get the trader on there. So this is like a medium-sized island that has a trader, but it doesn't have a bird. And to be honest, I don't think I've ever seen this island before. Now, I understand in Raft that there are some islands that are super rare. I don't know if this is one of them, but it's obviously not a particularly common island because I've never seen it before. So, yeah, if you know, leave me a comment down below and see what you can tell me about this particular island. It does have some wildlife on it, and it does have some very useful resources. I would say I'd describe the biome as a desert, and consequently, I have a feeling there's another resource that potentially could have been available on this island, but I don't believe I've got the detector for it yet, so that may well be a missed opportunity. For reference, I haven't recorded anything beyond the end of this episode at this stage, at least at the time of this recording, and we haven't actually, pushed off from this island yet, so I'll have a look through my crafting before I start recording the next episode just to see if I do have the detector yet. I'm pretty sure I don't. I'm pretty sure it's the next storyline location that gives it to me. But I'm referring to the next metal, and it's a metal you've got to dig out of the ground. And I thought that the desert islands are the first places where you kind of get access to that as a possibility. So if you know, feel free to leave a comment down below. Don't be too spoilery about it, but if you want to confirm or deny my suspicions, feel free to do so. In the meantime, we've got this lovely little island to explore. On this lovely little island, there are some bees, which is, I'm going to say, very awesome, because I would like to get at least one more beehive running, and I've left room for it, so it just kind of makes sense that we just do it. So we're here, we're, swatting at air, and on our, multiple attempts, we finally get our first swarm of bees. We're going to now pick up a bit of plastic here, but we're going to have a look at this trader platform because we don't have a bird trying to kill us, so we can have a more detailed look at it. And you can see these are the things that you can buy, and there's a few things there that might be nice, but you can see that you need a trash cube, which we can make, but you also need a coin, and to get the coins you've got to be able to catch those rare fish, and then you sell them at one of these traders. Now, I'm pretty sure I should be able to catch probably one or two of those, the ones in the list, with a modest amount of effort. And at some stage during this series, I commit to at least attempting it. When I do that, I will at least include some of it in the video. I'm not going to do an entire video of me over the side of the raft with a fishing rod going, oh, that's not it. That's not it either. For obvious reasons. But if I have some success, I'll make sure I'm recording while I'm doing it, and I'll include the success or whatever as part of one of my regular episodes. Now, while we're poking around on the island, most of the trees you can't chop except for these mango trees. So we're chopping those down as we go. Now, we seem to have cleared out just about everything at this level, but we have some stairs that lead up. I wonder what interesting surprises await for us at the top of the stairs. Ooh, mysterious. Well, that's not a boar. That's just a mildly angry looking pig. Don't think we've come across one of those before. I know we do encounter them at least one of the storyline locations. That's not really a major spoiler since it will be the next one that we go to. But these little piggies, who really aren't that little, and they do kind of hurt when they punch you with their schnoz. They actually don't take a lot to kill. I didn't really keep track of how many times I stabbed him, but they didn't seem to take as many hits as, for example, the wild boars and things like that on the other islands. So, yeah, I had, darker memories of dealing with these guys previously, but in this playthrough, I was probably a bit overcautious with it. I actually didn't have that much trouble dealing with them at all. See, there you go. I've probably 4 hits, maybe 5, and that was the end of that one. Now, we do have ourselves some more bees, which I'm going to be very happy to catch. And boom, there they are. And we have another piggy to deal with. So we're going to go and deal with that. And I think that's going to leave us free and clear to, loot the rest of whatever is up here at the top level of this island. All right. Well, we've cleared out what we could find on this little island, or at least above the waves, so to speak. We're just having a quick little sweep around in the little nooks and crannies just to make sure we didn't miss anything. At this stage, I'm pretty confident I haven't missed anything, but hey, if there's something bleedingly obvious that I missed, then yeah, leave a little comment down below and I'll pick it up next session. For the moment, we're just having a bit of a sped up swim around the island. We're just having a look to see if there's any reefs, and turns out there is one. And yeah, that's pretty much it. A couple of bits of seaweed and nothing else. Oh wait, there's some metal over there. We'll grab that in a moment. And there's a bit of scrap. Oh, this is actually turning into some... Oh, hello. Yes, we want him. Yeah, that's our little friend. Our frenemy, if you like. The pufferfish. So we're not going to go near him because there is a chance we could sort of harvest him without him exploding with a spear, but it's a bit of a complicated exercise, and honestly, I just want to get him guaranteed successfully because there is a goat thing on this island as well. So if I can get the pufferfish and get some explosive powder out of it, then we're in with a good chance of getting the goat while we're still on the same island. Alright, we've just made ourselves a beehive and we're going to deploy that one here in the spot that I prepared earlier. This is the last bit of messing around that I'm doing this episode. So if you enjoyed it, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and to consider subscribing if you aren't already subscribed. Until next time, my name is Rudimentary Rob. Thank you very much for watching, and make sure you have yourself an absolutely fantastic day.